A sellout crowd, two great teams. The stage is set for a thrilling climax to the NBL season. Welcome everyone to Melbourne Park for Game 3 of the Grand Final Series between the Southeast Melbourne Magic and the Melbourne Tigers. The Magic gunning for back-to-back titles tonight. The Tigers aiming for their second championship in their history. Dean Templeton, good evening. Magnificent atmosphere. It's been an extraordinary final series so far. Please give me the winner.
Well, I wish I could, Stephen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but really I think we've had two fantastic games so far. Two completely contrasting games. In Game 1, a free-flowing, running type of game, very open, which favoured the Tigers. Then in Game 2, of course, a very physical, aggressive game, which really did favour the Magic. And we see some of the highlights from that game right here. Sam McKinnon, that's the type of play that set the tempo for the Magic. Chris Anstey, benched in Game 2 and came off that bench for 21 points and 8 rebounds, a terrific effort. Marcus Timmins looked as though he was going to set the tempo again for the Tigers, but he faded as the game went on. And there we see Timmins again giving the ball to Gaze, who had a surprisingly quiet game with just 18 points. But, of course, Mike Kelly can be given some credit for that. He played a terrific defensive job against Andrew Gaze. And we see Kelly here in this little bit of play. He scored 6 points in the final quarter, really to ice the game for the Magic. And they went on to hang on by 6 points and win it 84-78. As for tonight's game, well, it's anyone's guess. A lot will depend on how it's played. Is it going to be physical? Then maybe Magic. Otherwise, I'll stick with the Tigers in a very, very close one.
Paul Maley and Larry Senstock, you've been in this situation before. How are the players feeling? And more importantly, who's going to win the game?
Well, Stephen, as you can see, Larry is cradling in his arms what both of these teams will be vying for tonight. Both of us have been fortunate enough to hold one above our heads. Myself just the once, Larry a full 5 times. But I think tonight, in their efforts to secure this piece of hardware, the Magic will not change their game plan 1 ounce from Game 2. They will look to grind down the Tigers over 48 minutes and keep the score line down in the 80s. And you've got to say that they've got all the momentum with them, whereas the Tigers have all the pressure. But somehow I think the Tigers might just end up with this trophy.
Steve, if I could sit on the fence, I think I would. I think it's going to be a very, very tough game. If the Tigers can score 100 points, they'll definitely win this game tonight. It's going to come down to the referees, though. I think if the referees let the game flow a bit, I think the Tigers are in for a win. If they call the game a bit more loosely, then I think the Magic are going to come out with the game. So all in all, it's going to be a close game, but I'm picking the Tigers in a close one.
Let's have a look at the starting fives for the two teams. Mike Kelly, well, he's done a wonderful job in this grand final series against the best player in the NBL, Andrew Gaze. I reckon that will decide the championship tonight, the battle between those two. We've got McKinnon up against Copeland, Tony Ronaldson and Warwick Giddy. Tony Ronaldson really needs to lift if the Magic are going to win tonight and win this championship. Frank Drimmick's been outstanding in the grand final series. He's up against Timmins, who started like a house on fire on Wednesday night but really died out of the game in the final 3 quarters. And the other important battle is going to be John Dorge, who will team up with Chris Anstey and will take on the best centre in the business in the NBL, Mark Bradke, off the benches.
Well, it's interesting because we see on the bench there for the Magic, Brian Talbot, who has started in all but 2 of the games this year for the Magic. Jason Smith and, of course, Chris Anstey, who will see a lot of minutes, even though he is starting on the bench. Parkinson, the 3-point specialist, and Matt Moore. For the Tigers, they don't go to the bench just as much as the Magic. We've got young Daniel Egan. Ray Gordon, he'll be there. He's a spark. And, of course, he is quite a character as well. Jeffries, Brett Rainbow, and, of course, Blair Smith, who will back up Mark Bradke for limited minutes, but is an important player to the Tigers roster.
So it's all ready to go for the deciding grand final. Tickets sold out here at Melbourne Park at 10 o'clock this morning. It is officially a sellout live on Channel 10. We hope you enjoyed the game. It promises to be one of the best games we've seen in the 19-year history of the NBL. Let's hope it lives up to all the expectations. There's Brian Goorjian, coach of the Southeast Melbourne. He and Lindsay Gaze, who coaches the Tigers, were named last week co-coaches of the year. Leonard Copeland had a fantastic series. There's Lindsay Gaze.
Doesn't show a great deal of emotion, Lindsay, of course. But
I think he will tonight. Tonight, perhaps even a little more than 15,000. And we're ready for a start to the 3rd and deciding grand final of this 1997 series. The best 2 teams in the competition, no doubt about that. The best 2 teams have made it through. And that's 1-1. Will it be the Magic, the men in black, or will it be the Melbourne Tigers? Here's the final instructions from Brian Goorjian. And there's the starting 5 for the Melbourne Tigers. Colourful crowd. just about 50-50, perhaps slightly in the Magic's favour. It is a Magic home game tonight. They finished on top, so they get the 2 home games, but it is really neutral territory, Dean.
It is, but what a phenomenal atmosphere. Chris Anstey there. On Monday morning, we'll head to the States to put on the Dallas Mavericks singlet in the NBA, but I bet you he's not thinking about that right now. But none of these players are going to need anything to get out there and play as hard as they possibly can. This is just a phenomenal atmosphere, and really a credit to Melbourne sports fans once again. It's fantastic to see the crowd here and just to feel the atmosphere.
You can expect plenty of fireworks early between those two men. John Dorge for the Magic, Mark Branke. Dorge will be trying to rough up Branke as he did in game 2. He's got plenty of fouls to play with. He's got Anstey on the bench, ready to take his place if need be. We're ready for a start to game 3. It's the Magic in the black. And Tigers get first possession, going to the left of your television screens in the first 2 quarters.
And as we would expect, Mike Kelly immediately picks up Andrew Gaze. The matchups the same as they were on Wednesday night. Ronaldson's got giddy. Frank Drimmick with the job on Marcus Timmins there, who did get 11 in the first quarter on Wednesday night.
Timmins for 2. Doesn't go. Here come the Magic.
Well, Dodge did well on that occasion. Tipped that one off the rim quite legally. Kept the ball alive. Now it's Magic's turn in the half court.
Kelly's got it. McKinnon. First points. Nice move from Sam McKinnon.
Oh, a pretty simple move too by McKinnon. It really opened up in there. He was able to go to the hole pretty easily to score a comfortable layup.
And Mike Kelly has been pinged, and word had it that the referees are going to look at Mike Kelly very closely in the first quarter. They said, well, some people were saying he played a little too aggressively in game 2, and they're going to watch his hand checks. Let's have a look.
Well, you see, in this particular occasion, it was a switch situation. Drimmick picked up Gaze, and then very quickly, Timmins had to be picked up by Kelly. We saw a score there by Bradke, and a foul on Andrew Gaze at the other end of the floor.
So, 1-1 there. Kelly against Gaze. Gaze has been pinged for the blocking foul. The scorer was Mark Bradke for the Tigers, and there's a replay of that foul. McKinnon. Pretty physical inside the keyway at the moment. A lot of bodies banging. Now Ronaldson. Very quiet in the first 2 games. Misses Dorge. Great offensive rebound and puts it in. There's a little confidence booster for John Dorge over Mark Bradke. Offensive rebound. It's 4-2.
Well, that's another thing that the Magic are going to try and do. They're going to try and push Mark Bradke so deep on that rebounding situation that he's under the basket and he can't use his extreme strength. Timmins would do at the other end. And on that occasion, at the other end, George was able to get Bradke right under the basket and out of play.
Kelly. Great assist to Dorge. Missed. No foul. Timmins. Off he goes. Magic get the defensive players back. Did well there. And now Gaze will settle things down for the Tigers.
Gaze was almost all alone for the 3-pointer on that particular occasion. But very quickly, Tony Ronaldson was able to get to him.
Timmins again. And a foul has been called. It's against McKinnon.
That was on Sam McKinnon.
There was that great assist to Dorge, but Bradke was up there. And the referees let that one go. No score. Timmins at the other end for 2 foul shots. Early in the piece, Paul Maley, Larry Senstock. How do you see it?
Well, Stephen, I think one thing's clear. The Tigers are looking to go to Marcus Timmins early in the post. I think they can take advantage of that matchup against Sam McKinnon. He does have a bit of size on him. And probably a good way to start for them, something to go to on offense. Larry?
I think it's a fantastic game at this stage. They really are feeling out the game as far as the referees and what they're calling are concerned. Both teams are very, very active in both offense and defense. And yeah, it's just a great game, and they're really feeling each other out at this stage in the game.
Well, Kelly missed that shot down the other end. Tigers have possession. It's still their ball. And it's 5-4. Melbourne in front. Gaze to take it. Copeland had a great series. They're looking for Timmins, this man, number 40, very early in this game. Gaze for 3. Kelly ends up with the ball. McKinnon! And there's a big foul by Warwick Giddy, and he's hit McKinnon in the face accidentally, but that's a good, hard grand final foul.
Absolutely, and what an effort by McKinnon to go to the basket. He really cocked that one back. He was going to throw it down, tomahawk style. Have a look at this. Good, hard foul, as you called it. Giddy got him, there's no doubt about it. What a great effort by both players.
And Sam McKinnon's bleeding, and he has been sent off under the blood rule. And it's quite a nasty gash on the nose. That was a real hard foul for Warwick Giddy. It's the way you should foul in the grand final. It's a tough game underneath there. It is very physical. And here's another angle and crunch right across the bridge of the nose. So McKinnon is off, and Andrew Parkinson checks in for him. It doesn't look too serious at this stage.
I'm sure they'll stop the bleeding. In this situation, it was McKinnon that had to go to the line, but of course now Parkinson will check in and shoot the free throws for him, and that's not a bad move by the coaching staff because, of course, Parkinson is one of the better free throw percentage shooters in the league.
Well, Steve Evans, the physio, looks like he might be trying to reset his nose, so Paul Maley is down there. It might be a broken nose, which is pretty serious, I guess, in any shape of sport. He'll come back on, no doubt, but it must have some sort of effect if it's broken.
Well, indeed, the first thing he said when he came down and sat down on the bench was, it's broken. And the team doctor has actually been pushing on his nose to try to get it back into a straight line. And bleeding fairly profusely at this moment. He is in some obvious pain.
Ronaldson for three. Doesn't go. Well done by Drimmick. Gets another offensive rebound for the Magic. It's 7-6. Timmins got the points for the Tigers down the other end. And Sam McKinnon at the moment off with a broken nose, courtesy of a Warwick Giddy foul. Drimmick for three, and a sweet shot from Frank Drimmick, who for 19 years of age has had a brilliant grand final series, Dean Templeton. And there's a foul. It's on Kelly again for the little hand check on Andrew Gaze, and Mike Kelly now I think has got the message that he's got to be very careful guarding Andrew Gaze tonight. There's Sam McKinnon. And we've got a timeout called by the Southeast Melbourne Magic. Mike Kelly not happy. 8 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's the Magic 9, the Tigers 7. 8 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first quarter. It's the Magic 9, the Tigers 7. Let's go courtside. Paul Maley, how's Sam McKinnon's nose?
Well, he's already got a band of bruising across his nose. It is definitely broken. That's the word from the team doctor. And Sam, as I said before, in obviously a great deal of pain. And from Gordon's point of view, he just wants to make sure the troops get up and pick up on defense earlier, full court, and make sure they don't get caught behind Marcus Timmins.
Larry Senstock.
Well, what Lindsay Gaze was talking about was really get some more hard cuts and be more positive in their offense. But certainly to get the next 5 minutes out of the way. The next 5 minutes is very, very crucial for both teams. Tigers want to make sure that they come out on top in this instance.
Gaze, great assist at Branky, but great defensive work by the Magic. Tigers couldn't score. Now Timmins to Gaze. Gaze will spot up. No, he won't. He goes to Giddy. Giddy to Branky. He loses it. It's a Magic ball.
And that's a case where Warwick Giddy really has to take that shot. Lindsay Gaze is absolutely fuming. He's been at the referees in that whole set of plays there. He felt that Andrew Gaze, his son, of course, was getting treatment that was unfair and against the rules. Plenty of checking out there. But still, at the moment, I think the referees are letting it go. But it's the same for both teams.
Parkinson, three-point specialist. Tigers have got it. 9-7, Magic lead.
Gaze and Copeland yet to score. We're almost halfway through the first term.
Timmins for two. Giddy couldn't tip it in. Dorsch another rebound. Here come the Magic. Ronaldson. Now Kelly. Back to Ronaldson. Did that too easily. And a good two-pointer to Tony Ronaldson, who needs a bit of a confidence booster. And that basket will try to provide him with just that. It's 11-7, Magic by 4.
Well, Ronaldson going to his left, which is probably unusual, but there was absolutely no secondary help by the Tigers. He beat his man, and it was all over. Again, the Tigers short on the shot. So far, the Tigers not shooting the ball well at just 30% from the field, 3 of 10.
Drimmick. Dawes couldn't tip it in. Kelly back outside to Parkinson. Great effort by the Magic. They're looking the better team at the moment, but it's very early days. Ronaldson works on Timmins and draws the foul. So Tony Ronaldson will go to the line for 2 shots.
Oh, classic move by Ronaldson. He gets in that low post position. He is what's known as a wide body. He's got a big backside, and he certainly uses it to his advantage.
And the booing is for Ray Gordon coming in, but we've also got a timeout here at Melbourne Park. 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's the Magic 11, the Tigers 7. Just past the halfway mark of the first quarter in the third deciding grand final game for 1997. It's the Magic leading by 4. Tony Ronaldson is at the line. He can extend that lead as we go courtside, and Paul Maley.
Well, Stephen, Brian Gordon very happy with how things are proceeding thus far. You've got to say that the scoreline does favor them. That is low for the first half of this first quarter. And he just wants them to continue to pick up early, in particular Mike Kelly, as you see him meeting Andrew Gay at the three-quarter court, and make it hard for him all night long.
Larry Senstock.
Well, Lisa Gaze again was talking about the fact that they're too terminal on offense. He wants them to run it around a bit more. But for mine, I think the fact that they've scored 7 points in 6 minutes is not good from the Tigers' point of view. And secondly, I think that now that Anstey's in the game, John Dodge and Mark Bradke really cancelled each other out. Mark Bradke didn't take advantage of John Dodge by running him up and down the floor. And now with Anstey out there, Mark Bradke's really going to have to get his running shoes on.
Copeland.
Well, that's a big bucket right there. He's being fouled. He'll go to the line. Possible 3-point play for Leonard Copeland.
Caught one right on the top of the scone. Chris Anstey came on straight away and was called for the foul, and that Brian Gorshin being warned by the referee. If he keeps talking, he's going to be tech fouled. In fact, I think it's more to the Magic bench rather than the coach. And referee Billy Mildenhall has gone over to the Magic bench and said, well, shut up or I'm going to pin you.
Well, he's laid the law down. Lots of tension there as Leonard Copeland. It's a 3-point play.
Sam McKinnon still sitting down with a broken nose. Got that in the first couple of minutes of the game, courtesy of Warwick Giddy. It's 12-10, Magic by 2. Kelly thought about the 3, now shoots it. Here come the Tigers.
Ray Gordon has checked in for the Tigers for Warwick Giddy. Bradke underneath, gets the roll. And he will go to the line as well. So all of a sudden, the Melbourne Tigers are right back in this ball game. Oh, big hoop there by Mark Bradke.
Let's have a look at it. Beautiful view of this. Bird's eye. And Bradke put it in and drew the foul. Parkinson sits down. McKinnon comes back in. He's had his nose straightened. He looked completely straight, but I've done a reasonable job in a short space of time.
It's swelling considerably.
Yep.
Tell you right now, you wouldn't mind that full of second-hand furniture, would you? Have a look at it.
13-12. Tigers now in front.
A bit of a test for Sam McKinnon for him the first time he goes to the basket. Now he'll be very conscious of the fact that he's got a sore nose.
Ronaldson. Good Kelly for 3. Magic get another crack at it. Rebounding at the moment, 8 to the Magic, 7 to the Tigers.
And again, they get another chance.
Drimmick, Anstey underneath will score.
3 chances there for the Magic. They picked up the loose ball. Melbourne Tigers cannot afford to give up that many offensive rebounds.
Magic back in front by 1. Gaze to Gordon, and Ray Gordon scores the 2. And you can bet your bottom dollar that Ray Gordon, who's guarding McKinnon, will be working on that nose. He will be giving it a test out. You can guarantee it. As Bradke has been called for a foul for holding Anstey off the ball. It's his first personal. Looks like he's blowing pretty hard, Bradke, doesn't he?
Baseline ball Magic.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the contact was there, but I suppose it did hamper him from getting the pass into him.
Kelly with the basketball.
Andrew Gay's still yet to score in the game, but has 3 assists.
Lob pass is beautiful from Ronson to Drimmick.
Oh, good defense.
Drimmick again. Gets it again almost. It's a Tigers ball. But the Magic offensively are doing a fantastic job maintaining possession.
They certainly are attacking the basket. And I think Marcus Timmins is going to have to step up on the offense.
Oh, and Kelly off the ball. It's pushed over Gaze.
And there's no call, but the referees are... Well, something has come onto the court.
A lot of body contact there. Let's have a look there. And, well, nothing much in that. Technically, it was a push, but they sort of tangled each other's feet.
Tripped up. Andrew looking a little frustrated.
Yeah, he's not too happy with Kelly at the moment. Don't see him get angry too often. 7 lead changes already in this game. Tigers in front by 1. There's Gaze. Oh, off the ball. Gordon goes down. Bradkey. No score. It is getting very tough out there at the moment.
I think you'll see the referees make a couple of very quick foul calls here, because you're quite right, it's getting quite physical.
Anstey gets it back. Another chance for the Magic.
Good job by McKinnon.
Well
Excellent
done,
job by Sam McKinnon. The hand on that ball and really worked it like a ruckman.
The foul is on Ray Gordon. That's his first.
Ray Gordon went flying.
I think he might have attempted the old Logie trick there. And there was contact.
First action tonight,
Brian Talbot in for the Magic.
Needed that.
Drimmick sits down. Look at the offensive rebounds. The Magic 6-2. That is a crucial statistic.
Yes, it means Magic are getting 2 or 3 opportunities every time they come down the floor.
And it's the Magic 16, the Tigers 15. A very low scoring first quarter. This will suit South East Melbourne. They're the best defensive team in the competition. Gaze.
Oh, what a pass.
Bradkey.
4 assists to Andrew Gaze. What he's able to do there, he knows that Kelly's playing him so tight. The other players, the other Magic players, are looking to help out. So Andrew Gaze is penetrating, drawing 2 players, and he's hitting the open man. So he may not be scoring, but he certainly is helping his team out at the moment.
Anstey goes to work on Bradkey. Right-hand hook is short. That's a foul by Anstey. Over the shoulder. It was an accident, but it was a foul. And Mark Bradkey will go down the other end of the court. And Chris Anstey, who's only been on for probably 5 minutes in the game, already has 3 fouls. And boy, that is a crucial call.
Barely 5 minutes. I reckon he's been on for just over 4. So 3 quick ones against Anstey, but here comes John Dodge right now, so Anstey will sit down. As we look at the field goal percentages for both teams, Magic 5 of 17, but of course we've spoken about the offensive rebound, so that's why they've been able to get away with that, and the Tigers not much better at just 46% at the other end.
So Mark Bradkey has got the game high 7 points at the moment. This season averaging 20 points and 12 rebounds.
He certainly has improved that free throw shooting in the playoffs from what it was during the regular season.
Tigers in front by 3. McKinnon takes it to the hoop. Can't put it in. Bradkey. There's a foul there. It's on Dorge. So the big fellas for the South East Melbourne Magic being very closely monitored by the referees. That's Dorge's first foul. Brian Gorshin cannot believe it.
It was a very quick whistle underneath there. McKinnon missed the first shot. And didn't seem to be a lot in that.
That was
whatsoever.
Very ordinary. Nothing in that at all. He's just trying to grab the ball.
Guys, you've got to say that Dean, you and Larry both mentioned before the game that how this game was going to be called is going to be a very crucial factor. And already some fouls piling up fairly quickly in this first quarter. And a few more Magic players start to get higher in the foul count. That is going to really, really change their game plan. And it will benefit the Tigers. That was a real tough call, that one. There was nothing in that. Just trying to get the basketball. Anyway, it's the Tigers all of a sudden out by 5 points, 21-16. Bradkey's got 11, having a great first quarter. Andrew Gaze, would you believe it, still yet to score. Ronaldson for 3.
All of a sudden, the Tigers are starting to look very good, and Magic not so good offensively. Struggling a little at that end.
Timmins.
Well, really, that was a nothing pass. Marcus Timmins certainly wasn't expecting to get that handoff.
A little bit stagnant, the Tigers.
They're down to 10 seconds. Look for Gaze. He'll work Kelly one-on-one.
Gaze off balance, makes it. Big basket. The first for the night for Andrew Gaze. And the Melbourne Tigers, all of a sudden, lead by 7, and they're up to 23. They've gone on a good little run here, the Melbourne Tigers.
You know, the Magic are getting stuck in this half-court offense. A much better move there by McKinnon. Drove to the basket, drew the foul on Blair Smith. And, in fact, McKinnon will go to the line.
Here's Gaze's basket, first for the night. Off balance. The Tigers on an 8-0 run at the moment, but McKinnon can end that at the foul line.
Guys, this is much more the style of game that the Tigers would like to be playing. There's been a couple of clean rebounds where they can get up the floor, push the ball up, get a bit of broken play, because they are definitely the masters of the broken play and counter-attack.
In the first quarter here at Melbourne Park in Game 3, 14 fouls called, which is a relatively high count. One would expect in a game of basketball about approximately 40 fouls to be called. So we've had 14 in the first quarter. We're heading for a lot more than 40.
And it's a turnover against the Tigers. No, in this first quarter, just 2 turnovers against Melbourne, none against the Magic. So it's a great effort considering there's so much pressure out there.
I think that's also indicative that Magic aren't taking as many risks as they did in Game 2. I think they're going to try and push the ball up the floor a little bit more, be more aggressive once they get there. I think their foul count has turned them off a little bit and slowed them down. They're a little tentative at the minute.
Ronaldson, great assist to Kelly off balance. It will be a Magic ball.
Good defense there by
4
Andrew
seconds
Gaze.
left on the shot clock. Sorry, Dean.
It was good defense by Gaze. He was able to get a hand on Kelly, force the pass instead of the shot.
Got to shoot, Talbot. 2 seconds to go. Loses it. Here's a chance. Ray Gordon. Oh, missed it. Oh, Timmins! What a rebound! Sensational.
He was there all alone. That's a lifter.
Tigers by 7. Magic need to score this trip up the court. Ronaldson. Back outside. Talbot. Great assist to Ronaldson. Good defensive work by Bradkey. Now Kelly spots up. And triples. Big bucket from Mike Kelly. They needed that one, the Magic. His first points in the game. Tigers by 4. Last play coming up in the first quarter. Gaze, will he shoot the 3?
I think he will now.
Gaze. No, he's given it away. And there's 0.7 of a second left. So the Magic will try and conjure something up. Hail Mary from half court. Talbot. So it's quarter time here at Melbourne Park in the third and deciding grand final. And it's the Melbourne Tigers in a tight one. 25, the Southeast Melbourne Magic, 21. Quarter time at Melbourne Park. It's the Tigers 25, the Magic 21. In that first quarter for the Tigers, Bradkey, 11 points and 4 rebounds. Timmins, 7 points and 5 rebounds. Andrew Gaze, just the 1 basket. He's got 2 points. They're the major scorers, while see Timmins there putting in that big 2. While for the Magic, a good even spread of scoring. 4 points to McKinnon and Anstey. And a few players have 3. As we go courtside, firstly Larry Senstock, who's covering the Melbourne Tigers bench.
I like the way that Lindsay Gaze runs his timeouts or quarter times, because he's so specific with his players and exactly what he wants to do. He wants a lot more pressure on the guy with the ball. He wants to make sure that they run their offense. And when he talks about that, I mean, the offense is insignificant. It's more the type of offense. It's the fact that they actually run through, and they do all the counter-attacking. So they look for opportunities, kickbacks and that sort of stuff. Backdoors, as we just see there.
Great anticipation by Mike Kelly, but it is a Tigers ball. Paul Maley.
Well, Brian Gorgon very concerned about the fact that he feels they're getting beaten in defensive transition a bit. He still wants the guys to pick up the 3-quarter court, but wants them to make sure that if they're on the weak side, that is not the ball side, Copeland just missing that, not the ball side, that they make sure they jump back to split line or center court so that they can make sure that help on any drives to the bucket.
Thought an interesting statistic from that first quarter, Stephen, was the fact that Magic have attempted 7 3-point shots to the Tigers just 1. There's many people who believe that the Tigers live and die from outside that perimeter line. We see Ronaldson.
Got the fadeaway jumper. And now John Dorsch has been pinged for the foul for pushing out Bradkey.
The basket will count. It will also be a foul on Dorsch, his second.
So between them, Anstey and Dorsch have racked up 5 fouls. Bradkey just 1.
There's no doubt that the referees are being a tad more tough, the physical stuff under the hoop, as we see the team foul count for both teams.
Andrew Gaze just finding it so hard to get any space at all. Timmins, tough shot to make. Bradkey, offensive rebound, doing well.
I'll reset here. They've got plenty of time. Gaze is looking to run a play.
Ronaldson looking at him between the eyes. Good defensive work. Gaze can't get through. Great stuff by the Magic. Copeland.
Oh, boy.
Leonard Copeland is up to 5, and the Tigers lead by 4.
A classic Copeland shot. One dribble to his right and straight up, very quick off that dribble, and extremely difficult to guard.
McKinnon. Bradkey. Oh! Giddy on the ground, did beautifully. Gaze. Copeland spots up.
Look out.
Triples! Great play, Warwick Giddy down the other end. We've got to have a look at a replay of that one when we get some time. Talbot on the drive. Dorsch can't put it in. Here come the Tigers again.
They're on the run, the Tigers.
Copeland for 3. Misses. Timmins. Now Talbot. It's a Magic ball. Great passage of play from both teams. Substitution, a double one for the Magic. Let's have a look at this with Warwick Giddy. Off he went. Onto the floor. Bradkey, Giddy, beautifully to Gaze. And Gaze in the end gave it to Copeland, who nailed the 3.
Well, that's why, as Larry Sengstock said, they are the most masters of the broken play. Really, they made something out of nothing from that one.
And Smith and Drimmick in for the Magic. Talbot and McKinnon having a break.
Critical point here for the Magic. 7 points is the equal biggest lead for the Tigers.
Kelly, no. Mike Kelly 1 from 4 at the 3-point line. So the Tigers walking the ball back up the court, lead by 7.
Remember, Chris Anstey saw only 4.5 minutes of play before he racked up 3 fouls. He's sitting down.
Gaze wheezes his way through, puts it in.
That's a good one by Andrew Gaze as we look at the field goal percentages for both teams this quarter. And that is why the Tigers have gone to a 9-point lead. And Anstey warming up on the side, ready to check back in.
Drimmick. Ronaldson. Dorsch, offensive rebound.
He's going to take that straight back up.
Ronaldson for 3. And the Bear makes it.
Gee, needed that one.
Tony Ronaldson. Well, Tony Ronaldson had 14 misses in a row from the 3-point line in this grand final series before finally nailing that one. But Andrew Gaze down the other end says, anything you can do.
Well, that was from a long, long way out.
And it's a 9-point lead to the Melbourne Tigers. Drimmick. Ronaldson starting to find some touch. And the Bear.
Ronaldson goes to the center of the court very often. The Tigers have done a good job in this series pushing him towards the baseline. But all of a sudden they've stopped doing that. And I really think Giddy has got to try and push him baseline. You watch Ronaldson. He gets it. He loves to turn back inside to the paint.
Well, Tony Ronaldson's been averaging 7 points a game in this grand final series.
Gaze is gone. Gaze all of a sudden's found a hot hand. He only needs 2 or 3 feet. And he's going to get the feel. He's going to catch and shoot. Kelly's got to be right there in his shorts.
So Ronaldson averaging 7 points a game in this grand final series. He's got 10 already in this game. And Gaze is up to 10. It's 10 points in favour of the Tigers. Kelly, nowhere to go.
Triple team. Good defense by the Tigers.
Drimmick.
Set again. There's 5 seconds of the shot clock. This has got to get up.
Drimmick on the finger roll, won't go in. Timmins gets the rebound. Here comes Melbourne. Copeland to Gaze. Plenty of time for the 3. Gaze. Did anything but
did everything but drop. Smith did a good job to run it, guys. There's no doubt that that one was going to go up, but gee whiz, it was almost in. Frank Drinick has been unlucky on a couple of drives, Stephen. He's probably just had them lip out, but he's going to keep going towards the basket, I believe.
They've got to stay aggressive, don't they, South East Melbourne? Kelly, good play to Ronaldson. Misses. Gorge working hard, can't get the ball. Bradke comes up with a rebound, and the Tigers lead by 10.
And rebounding-wise, you just get the feeling that the Tigers have lifted, and mainly that man, Mark Bradke. He has 6 rebounds, Timmins 7.
Bradke. Timmins. Back to Bradke. Will he take on Dorge? He doesn't. Timmins for 3, very laconically. Kelly. Oh, somehow got it to Dorge. Pretty lucky. Now Drimick. Magic need a score. Big reject by Warwick.
Don't bring that in here.
Tigers have got the numbers. Gaze alley-oops it to Bradke. Misses a sitter, but Copeland tips it in.
Oh, what a play by Warwick Giddy at the other end. Really came from nowhere to throw that one away.
Timeout called by the Magic. Look at the Tigers. They're off the bench, and they lead by a dozen. 40 to the Magic 28, but South East Melbourne are guaranteed a fight back. I wonder who he barracks for, as the Tigers 40 lead the Magic 28, 5.5 left in this second quarter. Tigers on top at the moment, but Paul Maley, nothing is more certain than the Magic staging a fight back.
Well, they are definitely what you'd call a sticky team. I don't think they're going to let this game get out of touch. But Gorgon wants his team to keep pushing it up the floor and perhaps look for a few more early break opportunities. But when it does go to the half court, go to that man right there, Sam McKinnon, who's just taking it to the hole. He gets called for a travel, but they will be going to Sam in the post when they get into half court.
And look at Brian Gorgon giving an earful to referee Eddie Crouch. And let's go to Larry Sandstock. What did the Tigers have to say?
As an ex-player, that definitely was a travel there, but the Tigers are just on fire at the moment. Mark Bradke was possibly going to get a break, but Lindsay Gaze said, stay out there, Mark. You're looking fantastic. And as we just see there, he really is looking to take it to them and get some more foul problems for the Magic defense. But I think it's just more of the same as far as the Tigers are concerned, and Lindsay was more concentrating on the defense and making sure that they keep some pressure on the ball.
Copeland. Anstey, the big defensive rebound. Magic need a score. Drimick off to the races. Does move beautifully.
Again, he can't finish it.
Egan.
3, he hasn't been able to finish Drimick.
Gaze to Copeland, steaming down the court at 100 miles an hour, and the Tigers lead by 14.
And that's the problem that Magic are going to have. If they want to get into a running game, well, that's playing into the hands of the Tigers. They're just going to run it straight back down their throat. If you're going to run, make sure you score. A very young lineup out there at the moment, Steve, with the Magic. Now, they've got 3 guys from the 23 and under team out there right now. Drimick, McKinnon, and, of course, Anstey. Add to that Smith. He's only 23 years of age.
And a charging foul against Sam McKinnon.
Oh, nothing going right for the Magic at the minute.
Timeout.
And we've got another timeout here at Melbourne Park. The Magic are in trouble. Look at the Tigers running to their bench. There's the charging foul on McKinnon. The Tigers look like they've won the grand final already. Better be careful, fellas. There is a long way to go in this game. Here's this last Tigers basket. Egan, young Egan, the great rebounder, Gaze, and Copeland running at 100 miles an hour.
Beautifully weighted pass by Andrew Gaze in the 2-on-1 situation.
Here's Lindsay Gaze. It's the Tigers by 14.
Stephen, have a look at the quarter points. Tigers 17, Magic 7. Those 7 Magic points have been scored by one man, Tony Ronaldson. Not one other player has yet to score this quarter for the Magic.
Well, the Tigers lead by 14. They were doing a bit of celebrating there. Far too early, Paul Maley, for the Tigers to be doing that. What did the Magic have to say?
Well, Brian's first instructions to his team were, hey, listen, guys, you've got to let me work the referees. That's how it works. I will push them to the edge, but you guys have to stay focused. So he wants them to stay off the referees and leave that to him. And again, stating that he wants the ball to go into Sam McKinnon in the post. So anytime they get in the half court, look for them to go to Sam in the post.
But just further to that score line this quarter, it's interesting to note that there has only been 3 scorers this quarter anyway. Gaze has got 8, Copeland 9, and Ronaldson for the Magic 7.
Gaze in and out for the 3. Not dropping for the Guru. Jason Smith, got to nail it.
I was about to say, he's got to make that.
McKinnon, offensive rebound.
Oh, good pass.
Smith!
Oh, what a dunk.
Great stuff by Jason Smith. His first points in the game. It's 12 the difference in favour of the Tigers.
Look at the Tigers steam down the court. Oh, he's thrown it away, Andrew Gaze. Anstey's after it and gets it. The big fella's got the ball.
Talbot. Bradkey, the big rebound. Gaze against Trimmick. Talbot gets back there also. Egan loses it. 2 bad turnovers against the Tigers, but the Magic have got to make them pay down the other end of the court.
Well, Talbot's not going to get any more open than that in the game. I really think he almost hesitated. He thought, well, gee, will I, won't I? And that's not the way. You've got to go up very confidently if you're going to take that shot. Smith against Gaze. McKinnon gets Smith in the air. And will draw the foul.
And some ironical cheers from the Magic fan. Look at them, they're all up off their seats. Saying we got one at last. As Timmins ready to come back in for the Tigers. And the Magic fans believing they're getting a rough deal at the moment. The foul situation, 11 against the Magic, 7 against the Tigers.
This quarter, the referees have gone quiet with the whistle. It's 3 fouls this quarter against Magic, and that is the first foul against the Tigers in the second term. Oh, very dangerous pass there.
McKinnon did well, but then coughed it up. Mark Bradkey having a rare break.
Guys, it's an interesting substitution there with Mark Bradkey having a break now. The Tigers really have got quite a very athletic, mobile team out there with a couple of young guys that really didn't see a lot of time in that first game, or first 2 games, especially Daniel Egan, and he's done a great job so far.
Oh, Chris Anstey. Now, that's interesting because referee Billy Mildenhall was right in front and didn't make a call. There's the referee. The other side, Eddie Crouch, has called Anstey for his 4th personal foul. 2 more and he's out of the game.
Well, I think he definitely took the legs away from the Melbourne Tigers player there, and just a little bit of over-exuberance by Chris Anstey. And I think you get the idea of...
And Anstey, that is ridiculous. He's had a go at referee Bill Mildenhall, and Anstey's been called for his 5th. That is unforgivable in a grand final.
Well, it is, and you know...
Now, was it Anstey or was it a bench tech? We might be too hard on Anstey here.
Guys, it was definitely on Chris Anstey.
We'll have to wait and see here.
Well, at this stage, we do believe it is on Chris Anstey.
Let's have a look at Anstey to referee Bill Mildenhall.
There's the gesture. I don't think you have to be a genius to work that one out. But I seem to think that it's a bench technical foul because there's no one lining up here. Now, if it's a bench technical foul, under my understanding, it does not go against Chris Anstey.
Dean, that was definitely a technical foul on Chris Anstey. It was we called straight away on number 13, and he has got... No, he's going to be taken back to 4 fouls on the scoreboard.
Because he'd been substituted out. He was already out of the game. And that's why they get the side ball. Bench technical foul, you get 2 shots plus the side ball. Anyway, we've sorted it out. Anstey's only got 4. Meanwhile, the Tigers go on their merry way.
Well, a bit lucky there, Anstey, still only to have the 4 fouls. But
very fortunate.
The Tigers, all of a sudden, while we've been discussing that, lead by 16, and it really is now a critical period of the game for the Magic. These final 2 minutes off the ball.
Foul on Smith.
Blair Smith has been called for his 3rd personal. So a few problems for him. He's going to have to call it.
That's his 3rd.
Let's have a look at this one for a hold.
It's pretty hard not to make contact in that situation. He was always out of position. And it'll be an inbounds pass by the Magic. They've got their small lineup out there at the moment. McKinnon did well just to hold that one back as Copeland went past. Great athleticism by McKinnon. He banks it for 2. Both teams with the smaller lineup, all the big guys, all the 7-footers out of the game at the moment.
So it's the Tigers by 14.
Magic would want to get this back to 10 points by half-time, Steve. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, great assist by Smith to young Daniel Egan. Ronaldson, McKinnon, broke his nose in the first couple of minutes of the game.
Again, you see Ronaldson going inside, turning inside there in towards the basket. And I think he's got to learn to go back the other way. He's becoming a little bit too one way there when he gets the ball in the low block.
Copeland for three.
Oh, he stepped back.
Oh,
beautiful.
They're not dropping for the Tigers.
Yeah, but at the other end, Magic aren't taking advantage of that.
Smith, Ronaldson, can he make the three? But Magic get another crack, or no, they don't. Drummick stepped on the line. So it will be a Tigers ball. Gee, this quarter's had everything. There's 1 minute and 11 seconds to go. Look at the field percentage this quarter from the Magic. That's shocking. 17 times they've attempted a shot without much success. Smith missed. Now Copeland, another three-point attempt.
Boy.
Won't go.
They've got to run. They've got the numbers up the court. Talbot could stop and shoot that one.
Assist to McKinnon. Now Smith. Shoot the three, says Drummick.
They're hesitating. They're just hesitating out there at the moment. There's no confidence.
Talbot. Ronaldson for two. Makes it. 2 points to Tony Ronaldson. Back to 14 the difference. Just over half a minute left in the second quarter.
Frenetic pace in the second term. With under 30 seconds to go, the Tigers will look for one more shot. From Magic's point of view, they would love to get a stop. That'll be a foul on Smith and will send Gaze to the line. He's got to step up in that situation. You cannot body check right there. You've got to get back off him, maybe make some contact a little later. First foul against Jason Smith, but all players who have got their hands on the knees, Steve, it has been absolutely crazy out there.
Up and down the court at an unbelievable pace. And in a way, that suits the Magic because they've got the younger legs, but
the margin at 15.
They've got to be in touch, don't they?
Maybe 16 might be a little bit too much, but you're right. I think that it's not out of the question by any means. I think
no way.
Running up and down is definitely to Magic's advantage, and the Tigers will tire as the game goes on. Positive for him, though, is Mark Bradkey is getting a rest.
Tigers lead by 16. Magic really need a score here to go into half-time with some confidence. McKinnon on the drive. What a dunk from Sam McKinnon.
Blair Smith said, where'd that come from?
Gaze from half-court. Lobs it. Oh, almost for Andrew Gaze. So at half-time in the deciding grand final game between the Melbourne Tigers and the Southeast Melbourne Magic, it's the Tigers leading by 14 points, 50 to 36, but this game is far from over. Let's go courtside as we see Sam McKinnon's dunk first. Spectacular stuff from McKinnon. Paul Maley is speaking with the coach of the Magic, Brian Gorshin, who's shaking his head in disbelief.
Brian, you guys are 14 down going into halftime. Offensively, are you going to have to try and loosen up a bit and get a bit more aggressive to overcome the difference?
The keys for us, I thought we did a good job early. The keys for us is to keep them off the foul line. That controls the tempo. That's the problem in the first half. We're in a deep hole now, but you know, we're going to have to start a new half and make sure that we're getting good shots. I thought we had some transition opportunities. We didn't finish, and they were point blank. They went down and scored. They got a lead, and we haven't played well in this situation. I got Kelly some rest. I got George and Anstey some rest, and we're going to have to come out guns and maybe open this thing up in the third quarter and let it fly.
Thanks very much, Brian. Larry, over to you.
Larry Senstock has lost Lindsay Gaze. He decided he wanted to go in and address the players. He might try and speak to Lindsay when he comes back after the halftime break. But at the major break, it's the Tigers with the advantage. They lead by 14 over the Magic, 50 to 36. It's the Melbourne Tigers leading the Southeast Melbourne Magic in the deciding grand final by 14 points, 50 to 36. Dean Templeton, a lot of basketball left in this game, however. Don't write off the Magic.
Well, it is a big lead, quite obviously, and you'd think, well, you know, maybe the game's over, but it's far from it. I just get the feeling that the Magic aren't playing that badly. They've been a bit stiff, you know, and they could get back into it very easily. Of course, the Tigers are so dangerous and they counter-attack. They can run up the floor, and of course, they only need about an inch and they can score so very, very easily. Let's have a look at those half-time stats. And we look at the field goal percentages first. The Magic back down at 32%. That has to pick up. They've missed a couple of easy layups or relatively easy ones. At the other end, the Tigers at 46% are much better around their average. Rebounding has changed. Earlier it was Magic. Now the Tigers are starting to get on top there. Turnover count is really non-existent by both teams. And the assists, 9 to the Tigers and just 6 to the Magic. But at this stage, I think the fact of the matter is that the Tigers are shooting the ball better from most positions.
And let's have a look at the scorers. Firstly, for the Melbourne Tigers, Andrew Gaze has got 14, Copeland's got 14, Bradkey's got 11 and plenty of rebounds, Timmins has got 7. While for the Magic, Tony Ronaldson really back in some form in this game with a dozen. Sam McKinnon doing a great job, remembering he broke his nose early in the game. He's got 8 points. Anstey's got 4, but he's in foul problems with 4 fouls next to his name. Drimmick and Kelly have 3 apiece. Well, there's no doubt that Ray Gordon is one of the great characters of the NBL, and Andrew Gaze, his Tigers teammate, got the job of trying to find out what makes Ray Gordon tick.
To the people that I'm not speaking to, because most people that do know me, obviously off the court, they know the type of person I am. Mild-mannered, the old Superman Clark Kent syndrome.
Oh, and Dalton's caught one from Gordon. Gordon just walks right past him.
What was your childhood like? Were you the class bully at school and things like that?
No, I was very, very mild-mannered. There were some times where I needed to exert my influence on others, and I did that from a junior age, but then I quickly learned to talk my way out of certain situations.
You were very, very skinny when you were growing up, and you were quite tall. How do you explain the change in your physical prowess over the years?
Well, you obviously know about my work ethic. I am actually the strongest guy on the team at the moment, stronger than Mark Bradkey.
Watch this one. Gaze, Simmons underneath, and that's a foul on McCaffrey.
And Gordon and Kelly getting in a bit of the old push and shove.
Ray, do you think it's fair when people say that you have white line fever?
No. No.
You don't think you have white line fever?
No.
So you're the same person off the court as you are on the court?
I wouldn't say that.
As far as their offense is concerned. And Ray Gordon has cleaned up Mike Kelly.
That's just part of me, and that when I'm out there, I'm a different person, and I'm just giving 100%. And sometimes I'm off with the fairies. So I apologise for that, but.
Ray Gordon and Stephen Whitehead having a lovely little chat just off the ball there. And for those of you who can lip read at home, we do apologise.
Ray, can you let us in on some of the secrets on how you will try and put off your opponent?
I like to talk a lot. We talk about the weather and their family, whether they have any brothers and sisters. Things like that. I really like to get to know my opponent.
And Gordon and Woodbury, and look at this. Woodbury pointing Gordon right in the face, and Gordon says, come on, let's go.
What about players? Is there any particular player that perhaps just rubs you the wrong way?
There's a few, but I'm not going to mention them.
What annoys you the most about an opponent?
Various things. As I said, when they hit a basket and, you know, they start trash talking. Little bloke from Sydney does that a lot.
For David Rees-Jones of basketball, Ray Gordon. At half-time here, it's the Tigers leading the Magic by 14 points. We'll be back for the third quarter very shortly. Almost ready for a start to the third quarter in the third deciding grand final game for 1997. Well, at the moment, it's the Tigers making a feast of the Magic. They lead by 14 points, 50-36. Magnificent crowd here. It was sold out at 10 o'clock this morning. Around 15,000 people here. And the Magic trying to regroup at half-time. Look, there's no doubt, Dean, that they are going to come back. They're certainly not shot by any stretch of the imagination. And there is a very keen supporter. Some might say too keen. It's at half-time. The ascendancy is with the Tigers. Here's Brian Goorjian, coach of the Magic.
All right. 5 and 3s, Mike, if we run set play. 3-quarter court D. Keep the grind. Watch the foul. Don't foul the shooter. All right? No easy baskets. Make them earn everything. A grind for 24 minutes. Cut mistakes and end the third. The key is the grind. We need it in the fourth. You got me? Oh, there you go.
The key is to grind. So the Magic trying to make sure that their game plan is to wear them down, play ugly basketball, but effective basketball. The foul situation, Ansky's got 4. Lucky he hasn't got 5, but 4 fouls next to Ansky in just 6 minutes of game time for him. He's the only Magic player in foul trouble. For the Tigers, Blair Smith has 3, and the rest of the Tigers have 1. So really not much foul problems at all to worry about at the moment, except Chris Ansky, who has 4. There's John Dorge, who's starting. Good job on Bradke again. Mark Bradke, 11 points and 7 rebounds. Timmins, 7 points and 9 rebounds for the Tigers. For the Magic, Ronaldson, 12 points. McKinnon's got 8, and the Magic get first possession in this third quarter.
And they really do need to get the first score. This is a sort of situation that the Tigers like. They're really let off the chain a little bit. They can relax and run up and down the floor and score at will.
McKinnon.
No contact on that one.
Gaze gets the ball. You've got to take it to Sam McKinnon, though, after that broken nose. He really is continuing to put his body on the line and drive to the basket. So he's not holding back, is he?
No, he certainly isn't. Kelly back on Gaze, as we would expect. And we'll be wearing him like the glove.
There's a turnover.
Now, this is where Magic really have to be able to make the Tigers pay for their mistakes. And they weren't able to do that in the second term when Melbourne did miss the odd shot. The other end, Magic weren't able to capitalise on that. They need to do that right here. That's what grinding's all about. Wear away at them.
Ronaldson.
Got the roll.
Does well, Tony Ronaldson having a good game. He's up to 14.
Time we saw Ronaldson going back down towards the baseline with his right hand. Good effort to make that shot.
Copeland. Fade away jump shot. Oh, you cannot guard against that.
No, well, Magic did everything right. They almost got a hand on the ball, and really it was like Copeland picked the thing up and said, well, I've got nothing else to do with it. I'll turn around and shoot it, and nails the shot. That is just, you know, brilliant basketball, and you can't guard against that because that's just opportunistic.
Kelly. That's a foul on Copeland, no doubt about that one.
And in the shooting stage there, so Mike Kelly will go to the line. Look, he picks it up and just turns around and shoots it. Copeland up to 16 points. Remember, he had 29 in game 1, 28 in game 2. So he really is having an outstanding scoring grand final series.
Mike Kelly, just 3 points so far in this game. Shot 11 in game 1, 13 points and 10 rebounds in game 2. At the moment, he's got 3 points and 3 rebounds. Now he can make it 4. With the margin, Tigers 52, Magic 39. It's a 13-point buffer for Melbourne. Gaze. It's a charge.
Oh! Yes, says Mike Kelly. Now, that's a difficult one to make that call because, of course, both players are moving. A lot of people are under the fallacy that you've got to be standing still to get a charge. So you don't have to be. What the ruling is there is that Andrew Gaze has hit Mike Kelly right in the middle of the chest. Kelly was in a fair defensive position, and Andrew Gaze has unfairly put him out of the play.
So second personal foul on Andrew Gaze.
And you just saw, we didn't get it on camera, but I just had a look at Andrew, and there was a little wry smile over there towards his father, and they looked at each other as if to say, well, what the heck?
McKinnon. Kelly.
Gee, no contact or no foul call on that one.
Big bucket from Mike Kelly. Oh. Well done by Kelly. He's up to 6, and it's back to 11, the difference.
Got to chip away. It's a long quarter. Cannot give this team an inch. Giddy tries to go baseline.
Radke, who had a nice rest. The finger roll doesn't go. Magic again. Here they come.
Got McKinnon on the break.
Lob pass. Copeland got a hand onto it, but it is a Magic ball.
Turnover starting to count against Melbourne. Magic working harder defensively to pick up those loose balls. So far, Brian Goorjian's instructions are being followed to the letter.
McKinnon for 2. Oh, it's an ugly shot.
Silent ball. Got nothing.
So the Tigers by 11. Timmins, Copeland for 2. Leonard Copeland up to 18. It is the Tigers by 13.
The Copeland again is the problem for Magic, and again we saw him beat his man pretty comfortably, and there was no secondary help there. They've got to get someone to step up into the hole and make some contact with Leonard on that play.
Ronaldson for 3.
No one on the weak side, the side away from the ball to get the rebound for Magic. At the moment, the Tigers are dominating the defensive board.
Gaze. Oh, what an assist to Bradke. Somehow he managed to get the pass off. And Andrew Gaze has got 14 points and 8 assists.
And this is what I was saying. It was back to 11. Now it's back out to 15. The Tigers will take every opportunity they possibly can, and 9 times out of 10 they score.
Ronaldson. That's a foul, a pretty cheap one on Timmins. It's reaching in. Second personal on Marcus Timmins. They got a few fouls to play with the Tigers. Then again, so do most of the Magic players. There's a little assist from Gaze to Bradke.
Just a beautiful look. Shuffle it around the corner.
Ronaldson for 2.
Much better move by Ronaldson. Went right, switched back, reversed. Beautiful shot.
Tony Ronaldson been averaging 7 points a game in the first 2 grand finals. 16 tonight. He is back in town.
Now Timmins going for the shake and bake against Drimmick. Got him up in the air, and there's no doubt Frank Drimmick did step forward on that play, make contact, and did in fact incur a foul.
Here's a replay of that one.
Here's the head fake. Whoop, up goes Frank. Bang. Good play by Marcus Timmins. And from a defensive point of view, you cannot afford to get off up into the air.
Marcus Timmins, since joining the Melbourne Tigers early in the year, when they were second last, since he's been playing, they have an 18-win, 3-loss record.
Of course, last year he played with the Illawarra Hawks before he went over, and I think he may have played a bit in Israel. And now summer. And was back here visiting, and the Tigers picked him up when their original import, Java Slang, was released with a knee injury.
Melbourne lead by 15. McKinnon takes on Giddy.
It's not the shot that Southeast Melbourne want. It's not the shot that they want in particular from Sam McKinnon.
Copeland with the ball. Now Giddy. Nowhere to go at the moment. Copeland is free. Oh, Leonard Copeland. Oh, he is hot. He's got 20.
Parkinson getting ready to check in for Magic to give them something from the perimeter. He's a three-point shot specialist. But Brian Goorjian's starting to think that this game is at a critical point. Pretty much obvious.
Tigers by 17. George misses again. It is a Tigers ball. 17 points the margin. Still a long way from home, though. Still a quarter and a half to go as you see Anstey ready to come on the screen there.
That's 2 minutes ago. It was 11 points.
Timmins, Bradkey from the foul line. Led off for the Magic. Now Drimmick.
Good defence here by the Melbourne Tigers. Now they are the team that's the swarming defensive unit. Look at Timmins switching up on that play there.
Timmins the steal. Will he take on McKinnon? He does. Gaze is underneath to mop up. And look at the Magic screaming for a foul.
There certainly seemed to be some sort of contact there, but no foul was called.
And a timeout here at Melbourne Park. The Tigers have punted, rightly so. They lead by a massive 19 points. It's crunch time for the Magic when we come back. A full house at Melbourne Park for the decider, and it's the Tigers out to a 19-point lead against the Magic. Leonard Copeland, Game 1, 29 points. Game 2, 28 points. Game 3, at the moment, 20 points and 4 rebounds. Leonard Copeland as we go courtside. Paul Maley, what did Brian Goorjian have to say?
Well, first of all, he's given Frank Drimmick the assignment on Copeland and said, look, you've got to do something about that for us because he's absolutely killing us, and has asked Mike Kelly to sort of kick the ball on a bit more quickly and try to get some more motion in offense. Personally, I think you can't fault the Magic's endeavor, but at the moment, offensively, they just do struggle to put enough points on the board. I don't think they could go wrong with getting Tolbert back into the game to put some heat on the rim.
First foul on Warwick Giddy. Larry Senstock.
Foul is on Andrew Gaze.
Yeah, I think Lindsay Gaze there was talking about that foul. That was actually on Andrew Gaze.
Apologies.
But Lindsay Gaze was talking about don't get terminal, and what he means by that is don't make sure you run your offense and make sure there's plenty of options for the guy with the ball. Don't leave him out to dry. That's a great move there by Frank Drimmick.
It's a relaxed team with the Tigers at the moment. They've got that buffer zone so they can bring it up and really pick and choose what sort of shot they want. They're dominating the boards at the minute, 28 to 23. Really does give them a nice feeling when they're in that offensive set.
Bradkey, turnover. Here come the Magic.
You've got to get someone with a hot hand. Somebody's got to start lighting it up. Parkinson might be the man.
Yeah, well, he's a three-point specialist, one of the best in the league. Anstey, what a block by Bradkey, and doesn't he love it? Tigers. Copeland misses. Here's a chance for the Magic. Drimmick, they got the numbers. Back to Kelly for the three. Mike Kelly. Bradkey underneath, comes up with a basketball. Drimmick, blocked by Gaze. And Bradkey's hurt. Is he okay?
He's not hurt.
He's hurt his ankle. He's got up limping.
I reckon he's dirty because what the hell was that?
4 fouls for Andrew Gaze. There it is. So Andrew Gaze in some foul trouble, but you very rarely see him foul out.
You very rarely see Andrew get up and throw a shot away like that, so I think he was pretty excited about that. He said, hey, getting up there blocking some shots.
He said a couple of times 6 fouls are out of the game, so Gaze has got a couple to play with. And the Magic clawing their way back. It's back to 15 the difference. They were down by 19 about a minute and a half ago.
Oh, big screen off the ball. Giddy's poleaxed Mike Kelly.
Giddy blocked by Anstey.
Kelly's virtually out on his feet. He's not well.
Kelly is not well. He's got the staggers. He has got the staggers. And he has called a timeout. That was a big screen by Warwick Giddy, and it was very legal. Kelly just didn't see it coming. Let's have a look before a break. There's the screen. Giddy, bang, an elbow right in the jaw.
Stop that. I don't think it was an elbow, Stephen.
It was a shoulder more than an elbow. I wasn't saying it was
a big difference.
I'm not saying it was intentional. It was just a good hard screen. And we got a break here at Melbourne Park. It's the Tigers 62, the Magic 47. Or is there a break or isn't there? Let's just work it out here. Is there a timeout being called? No, they haven't. So the referees have ruled play on as Mike Kelly looks in a quite a bit of trouble on the bench. We'll go to Paul Maley shortly.
It was just a referee's timeout in that particular case because of the injury, so the referee's called the timeout. And as we know, Mike Kelly has in fact checked out. I think he's pretty crook. We will get a report from Paul Maley that. I'll be surprised if he comes back in.
Drimmick. Oh, he gets his own ball back. Now Anstey. Parkinson. Drimmick for 3. Short. Bradkey the rebound. So plenty of action at the moment. It's the Tigers by 15 points. It's under 4 minutes left in this third quarter.
Drimmick's got the job on Gaze. I reckon they could do no worse than get McKinnon back in the ball game to pick up Gaze.
Paul Maley, how is Mike Kelly?
Well, Mike Kelly, what's happened to him is he's had his bell rung well and truly, but he's also had a mouthful of blood when he came over here, and he's got an enormous hole in the back of his tongue. He's just about bitten through it.
Gee whiz. It was a big screen by Giddy, very legal. And in the end, it was his shoulder that made contact.
A foul on Tony Ronaldson. Off the ball.
There's Kelly. He looks very, very groggy. And this time, we have a timeout at Melbourne Park. With 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter, it's the Tigers leading the Magic by 15. Just over 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Tigers leading the Magic by 15. Mike Kelly has come back on court. Here was the screen. Giddy made contact. Kelly went off groggy and with a mouthful of blood, but he's back on. Dean Templeton, you think there should be an even or upper?
Well, I just wonder if there would. I don't think there will be because, of course, that's not the focus that Magic want. And there's a foul off the ball. That'll be on Brian Talbot. But, you know, Warwick Giddy's been out there, and you're quite right. It was quite legal. It was a good, strong move. But, you know, Magic need to set some similar screens too. Legal ones, but similar hard screens.
So you're saying they should set an eye for an eye?
Well, not necessarily. I just think that they should also set some hard kicks. I don't think they should look deliberately for Warwick Giddy or anybody else for that matter. Now they've lost a bit of their focus and they're concentrating a little on the referees and not so much on the game.
So fouls on Parkinson. And what's happened here? More confusion.
I was just trying to work out how many team fouls Magic did have. It was in fact just their 4th. Now, every foul that they get as a team will send the Tigers to the line.
Timmins. Bradkey. Mark Bradkey up to 15 points, and it's the Tigers leading by 17. Kelly doesn't look anywhere near 100% there at the moment. It looks like he's in Noddy land. Parkinson catches and shoots. Gaze, oh, that's a foul on Kelly, is it?
And they're not going to make the call. They're looking for whose ball it is.
No call against Kelly. So the referee's deciding to let that one go.
They're going to confer.
Possession.
Magic ball.
It's a magic ball. And look at Lindsay Gaze. Lindsay is gone berserk. And Lindsay is not happy.
I don't think he is.
Talbot. Good move. Great bucket from Brian Talbot. He had Bradkey standing in his way, and Talbot was equal to the task. And that's as animated as you'll ever see L Gaze.
This shows you just how much is in this game. Another foul off the ball.
Kelly.
And it's on Kelly.
And that's Mike Kelly's 3rd personal foul. And really, I don't know if Mike Kelly really knows what's going on out there at the moment.
I think you might be right. I reckon he could be suffering a little concussion. Fair whack. And at the moment, the game is, well, really centering around the whistle.
And Frank Drimmick's been set off under the blood rule, has he? Or just a substitution? No, just a substitution. Bit hard keeping up at the moment.
All we know is the Tigers have a 15-point lead. Make it 16 points, and there's 2 minutes 14 remaining in the third term. For South East Melbourne, they'd be looking to get it down to about 12. Even 14, I still think they're a chance.
So Andrew Gaze is up to 18 at 66-49. 17 points in favour of the Tigers.
Another stagnant play here. We're going to get some movement without the ball. Parkinson tries to drive to the basket. There's nothing there.
Kick ball.
Magic, best defence in the league, only concede 89 points a game. Tigers have only got 66, so it looks like the Magic defensively are doing a pretty good job, but they're just not scoring enough. They've only got 49 points themselves. Kelly, Gaze, can't guard him because of his foul problems.
Yeah, but he also knows that Kelly's not 100%, so that's a pretty good setup right now for the Tigers. Maybe it'd be a better move for the Magic to get someone who's 100% fit out there.
Bradkey, Timmins, Giddy, doesn't usually shoot too many baskets. Now off the ball, Andrew Parkinson has been called for a check against Timmins. So really the game has just turned into a real scrap the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Very, very scrappy affair, and it's been 2 or 3 fouls away from the ball, which you've got to wonder about sometimes.
Timmins at the line. He's got 9 points and 10 rebounds. Now 10 and 10. And the score is 68 Melbourne, 49 Southeast Melbourne. That is 19 points the difference. 1.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Parkinson. You can bet he'll be throwing up some three-point shots in the last quarter. Talbot for 3. Ronaldson does well. Parkinson. Anstey. Oh, that's a big bucket by Anstey. Under pressure. Back to 17 the difference. Bit of class there from Chris Anstey. Copeland, 20 points in the game. Timmins. Giddy underneath. Can't get it. Now Kelly. Parkinson's got to pull up. Parkinson for 3. Looks good from here, but misses everything. Anstey and gets fouled. So Chris Anstey back into the game and making his presence felt. 4 quick points. Can make it another point here. And it's back to 15.
Under a minute remaining.
Kelly sits down for a break.
That's his second penalty. Chris Anstey will shoot a bonus.
The big problem that Magic have in this situation is they cannot afford to give a foul away. Anstey misses that. He really needed to nail that one. Tigers will work the clock, but Magic will get the last shot of the quarter.
Melbourne by 15.
They'll be looking to draw the foul.
Copeland. Timmins.
Watch Gaze work Parkinson.
Oh, the steal by Smith. Great stuff.
Anstey's got to go with him.
And a foul by Leonard Copeland was hard. Will make Talbot go to the line. And the Magic just on a little run here, Dean. This is exactly what they wanted going into the last quarter.
Great play by Jason Smith in defence. Terrific effort by him. At the other end, Magic must score. I agree with you. They are doing a good job. They're starting to put some pressure on the ball of the Tigers, but you've got to score at this end. Talbot has to nail these 2 free throws.
Brian Talbot this season, averaging 12 points. There was the foul, a hard one by Copeland. And Talbot does it at the foul line. And it's back to 13 points the difference. So the Magic have gone on a 6-0 run here to finish the third quarter. This is the last play of the third term. And it's a pretty big one for the Magic. If they can get a stop here, Dean.
Yep, they're right in this ball game.
Timmins.
They put some heat on the ball. They're going to get the pressure right on the player.
Copeland. Oh, fantastic. Leonard Copeland. That was a big shot at 3/4 time, and Ray Gordon likes it as he pushes Copeland off. And at the last change, it's the Tigers leading the Magic by 15 points, 70 to 55.
Seems we all have our needs. Everybody's got rights to what should be theirs. Whoa.
There's the score spread over the first 3 quarters. Tigers by 4 at quarter time, by 14 at half time, by 15 at the last break. Again, Magic get first possession from the tip-off. 15 points down. Paul Maley, can they do it and stage a comeback?
Well, Stephen, if you're asking my personal opinion, no, I don't think they can. I think the Tigers are just too good a team, and at this stage, 15 points in 12 minutes. If they even get within 5, it's going to cost them so much that I think we'll see the Tigers push it out toward the end. But it's going to be 12 minutes of an all-out effort from the Magic, both offensively and defensively. They really are going to look to put some pressure on the rim.
Bernard Copeland up to 24. Larry Senstock.
That's exactly what the Tigers need to do right now. They need to run the ball, frustrate the defense of the Magic, run it around, run at least 2/3, and then have something like that where Leonard Copeland finishes it off. That's a great nail in the coffin for the Magic.
Tony Ronaldson, the big 3. There's a good start. 14 points of difference.
Well, it's all or nothing here for the Magic. They can afford to gamble. They've got nothing to lose. They can have a bit of a go. Take the ball to the basket defensively. They can overplay and try and get some steals. And when the ball goes up and misses, they need 5 guys in the black shirts after the rebound.
Bradkey. Tipped in by Timmins. Timmins has got 13. Scorers at the moment, Copeland 24, Gaze 18, Bradkey 15, Timmins 13 for the Tigers. For the Magic, 19 to Ronaldson. He's been the standout. 8 points to McKinnon and Anstey.
Foul on Giddy. Ronaldson will go to the line. He was in the act of shooting. Third personal against Warwick Giddy. But the pressure the Tigers at the moment are putting on all the Magic players is really very, very good. And that was an obvious foul, making it difficult for Magic to even pass the ball around the perimeter, let alone take it towards the basket.
Ronaldson up to 20, and it's 74-60. Tigers by 14.
Ronaldson stepped up, Stephen, but he needs some mates. He hasn't got anyone else in double figures.
Ronaldson having a great game. Bradkey, Giddy, Gaze. Timmins. Tigers in no hurry.
Under 10 on the shot clock.
Gaze, will he take on Kelly?
Step up.
Timmins! Oh, he's landed very heavily. Marcus Timmins landed on his arm, and it doesn't look good.
Oh, I reckon he's done some serious damage there.
He landed very heavily on the arm and the wrist.
Oh.
And he looks okay, but gee, that was
almost a mark of the year.
Spectacular stuff. Sword over the back and bang right on the arm. Potentially very dangerous. Let's have a look at this angle. Gaze drove. Good effort by Anstey. And
you almost pay that, Mark, wouldn't you? Really, I thought he hung on to it long enough.
Magic or trailed by 14. There's a chance for them to whittle it down a little bit more. Still not out of this game.
Need a 3.
McKinnon for 3. Drimmick.
Oh, push it, son.
Oh, and Timmins is in a fair bit of pain out there. It was a gutsy rebound. He won't go off. Copeland. Misses. Timmins.
Oh, Timmins is doing an absolutely phenomenal job. He is really in some sort of pain. Still out there competing.
Kelly pulls up. Misses. McKinnon gets it back for the Magic. Another crack.
I tend to agree with you, Steve. I don't think Mike Kelly is with us. I don't think he'll have much of a memory after this game.
Ronaldson. 2 more. Ronaldson back to a dozen.
Absolutely stepped up. Big play here for both teams.
23 points to Ronaldson, and it's back to 12 the difference.
They need a break. They just need to break their way.
And Warwick Giddy was under the pump there, so he's called a timeout. We have 8 minutes and 54 seconds left in the game. The Tigers 74, the Magic starting to make a fight back there, 62. Just under 9 minutes left in this deciding grand final game. The Tigers lead by 12. They have possession on the sidelines. Larry Senstock.
Yeah, Lindsay Gaze there was talking about making sure that they're positive on offense, get the ball in. Oh, there's a big play there by Mark Brodke taking it. The foul's called on Frank Drimmick. I've got to say, Frank Drimmick has had a fantastic game here tonight. He's really played his heart out and been a big part in a lot of the plays.
For the Magic, Brian Gorgon just asking his guys to keep up the pressure. Feels that it is starting to pay some dividends. He wants to see them, as soon as they score, bust their asses back on defense as quickly as they possibly can and put the pressure on immediately once they have scored. And also looking to post Mike Kelly at every opportunity when they do get into a half-court game.
Mark Breaky nails the second free throw. And let's see if the Magic can bust some ass.
Didn't even see any donkeys out there. Or backdoor play by Drimic. He doesn't get the handle on the ball. It was a beautiful pass by Ronaldson, right on the money, but almost too slippery. And back to 13 points. You'd like to have a heart meter on Brian Gorgon, wouldn't you? I reckon the old heart rate would be going
It's
up
all
and down a bit.
all that Diet Coke. Imagine the caffeine levels. I wonder he's hypo. Tigers by 13. Gaze with the ball. Kelly couldn't get any closer.
Anstey tried for the steal. Now there's an overplay. And you see what happens? Attempted to steal. All of a sudden, the loose man is created. And a foul against Kelly, his fourth personal.
Substitution for the Magic.
And Anstey sits down. That's an interesting move as Jason Smith comes in. Now, what's the thinking there?
Well, they're going to put some pressure up the court. They're going to look to try and press here a fair bit. That means they're going to put some defensive pressure full length of the court. They don't want Anstey out there. The big thing is, of course, that Mark Bradkey will get the advantage at the offensive end, but he'll be at a disadvantage at the defensive end trying to match up against a smaller player. I'd suggest Ronaldson will be the man that will take Bradkey.
So Brian Gorgon trying to come up with some sort of formula. It's back out to 15, 77 to 62. Drimic, turnover. Just what the Magic didn't want. Good defensive play by Bradkey, and unfortunately for the Magic, Drimic lost the handle on it.
Well, you reckon the Tigers have just, as we see the turnover count, the Tigers just about weathered the first assault by the Magic.
There'll be one more to come.
There will be another one to come, and the big question is, can they stave off that one? But there's definitely another one. There's time for another assault by Magic, and I reckon this is it. Money time. Double dribble. Frank Drimic is
just the last couple of minutes. He's pressure. Yeah, he's turned the ball over a couple of times. Drimic, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 3 turnovers. Unfortunately for the field, he's only shooting 20%, but he has been playing his heart out.
And remember, Drimic, just 19 years of age.
Yeah, what a future. NBA material, perhaps.
Well, certainly Olympics. No doubt about it. Year 2000. I reckon he's almost way down Mazare.
Timmins.
Hope I haven't put the mockers on him. Timmins, great
assist to Bradkey.
What a finish. Oh, he loves it too, Mark Bradkey. Terrific
17
pass.
points. And we got another timeout called by the Southeast Melbourne Magic. The Tigers, is that a celebration? 79 points. They lead the Magic 62, 7 minutes to go. Season, it's the Tigers by 17. Their fans think they're home. Paul Maley, how do you see it?
Well, Stephen, I think you and Dean were speaking about the next onslaught from the Magic. After that timeout, I would expect to see it soon. I think Brian Gorgon did an excellent job of G'ing the guys up. You see Mike Kelly putting in an easy 2 there. They really are going to crank up this press on defense and look for Brian Tolbert to really take it to the rim and try to create something offensively.
Larry Senstock.
I think out there you see some interesting matchups right now, but what they're looking to do, Tigers, is get the ball inside to the high or low post and then make sure they run off it, just like they did in that last play.
And Giddy and Tolbert put their bodies on the line there. Giddy's hurt.
Doesn't Giddy put in though?
Yeah, he is hurt. He's copped the corky on the hit from Tolbert. That was a great flash.
It was just good hard stuff. They went for the ball. Nothing in it, of course. Giddy going to the basket.
Oh, great assist. Warwick Giddy. Take your hat off to Warwick Giddy. He's not flashy, but doesn't he get the job done?
Like to be with him in the trenches. There's a real go. Hasn't scored, but he's worth his weight in goal.
Kelly for 3, and Mike Kelly does it. He's up to 11, 14 the difference. Past the halfway mark of the final quarter. Magic will not lie down.
They're gambling. No foul. They've got to gamble. They're going to take chances, and it means it'll open up the court for the Tigers. They know that.
That's his third foul.
Here's this Gideon Talbot crunch. Clash of hips in the end. And there's the Warwick Giddy drive. Dishes. Bradkey. He's up to 20 points. So Tigers ball. Magic putting all sorts of pressure on the Tigers. Timmins draws the foul. Didn't land the basket, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
And the 4th team foul against the Magic. That's critical. That means that the Tigers will continue to go to the line on every whistle blow for a foul from now on. And with just under 6 minutes remaining, that means I reckon I'll be taking a walk to the charity stripe on a number of occasions, because Magic have to gamble and they're going to foul. There's no doubt about it. That's what they've got to do.
Just try not to foul Andrew Gaze. That's the key.
Well, they all shoot the ball pretty well from the free throw line. At the moment, the Tigers have been there 24
92%.
times. They've knocked down 22. Not bad.
16 points in favour of the Tigers.
Quick ball motion, penetrate, dunk. That's handy.
Well done by Sam McKinnon. Back to 14. 83-69. Copeland to Timmins.
Now they match up, so they're all over the place at the minute. Talbot's got the job on Gaze right now because that's how it ended up after the press.
10 seconds left on the shot clock. Copeland. He's had 24 points in the game. 5 seconds left. Copeland shorts it. Bradkey, the offensive rebound. Foul.
I think Bradkey's too big in that situation. You've got the smaller lineup out there. He doesn't get any shorter. No one was able to get him on their back. And the big guy just too powerful inside.
So Mark Bradkey at the line.
Guys, that is the advantage of having someone like Mark Bradkey in your team, because he's so athletic. He's out there with this smaller team, but he's able to defend the likes of Sam McKinnon and guys like that. So he's doing a great job out there.
Tigers by 15. Oh, great pass to Talbot, but he couldn't put it in. Smith.
Somehow Smith kept that ball alive.
Kelly. Ronaldson for 3.
But look at Timmins is off at the other end. They couldn't get it to him. Big basket there by Tony Ronaldson. 12.
12 the difference. Here's the last roll of the dice from the Magic. Can they get it under double figures? Pressure. Oh, Bradkey's coughed it up.
Thrown it straight to Kevin Gorgeon. What a lovely pass.
So here's a chance for the Magic. They trailed by a dozen.
This is that last onslaught that we were talking about, Stephen. They're not going to get another chance after this.
McKinnon. Gaze and Kelly wrestling off the ball. Now Kelly's got it.
Tries to step back. He's in trouble. He's in real big trouble.
Oh, and he's tossed it away. Good defensive work by Gaze, and just what the Magic didn't want.
Well, it was almost as if, I think, panic set in there. He saw a player, or at least he thought it was a player. In fact, it was referee Ray Hunt.
It's amazing you can see anything after that clash in the third quarter. So the Tigers, a lucky let-off there. They lead by 12. Under 4 minutes left in the game. Giddy, Timmins. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Tigers running down the clock.
They got the ball in the right guy's hands.
Copeland, 4 seconds to go. Misses.
Talbot almost should pull up and look for the 3. Or go all the way.
Foul. Fouls on Leonard Copeland.
That's his third, second team foul.
That's his third personal. Here's a replay of that one.
Little hesitation there by Talbot. Saw the opening, went all the way.
And we got a timeout here. The Magic hanging in there. It's the Tigers 84, Southeast Melbourne 72. 3.5 minutes to go in the grand final decider. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the grand final. It's the Tigers leading the Magic by 12 points. Sam McKinnon. How's this for a beautiful view? Look at that. Sam McKinnon has 10 points. And Brian Talbot is at the line. can make it a 10-point ball game. Larry Senstock, what do the Tigers have to say?
Well, what Lindsay Gaze is worried about is the guys are going a little bit terminal again on their offense. He said, make sure you use the ball, be strong with it, get it to that post position and then run off it. Defensively, he wants them to make sure that the Magic use at least 20, 25 seconds each time they've got the ball. If they can do that, then the game's all over.
Paul Bailey.
Well, that was the last timeout that the Magic had, so we'll see no more Brian Goorjian's timeouts. And he's just asked the guys to keep going flat out. And offensively, basically, bare bones structure. Just get somebody in the post and make cuts off of it. And that's even if they get to that stage without getting a quick shot up off of the fast break.
Gaze assists. Bradkey gets it back. Lucky break for Melbourne. They got to shoot. There's 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Gaze for 3. Bradkey. Now is a chance for Southeast Melbourne.
Cole's going to go all the way. Oh, he goes. Oh,
Smith over the top.
no foul on that play. It was good D by the Tigers, but Smith came from nowhere. We're under 10.
9 points the Tigers lead by. There is a chance for the Magic to produce something unbelievable here. Tigers have got to keep playing offensively. They can't.
Timmins inside will score.
Oh, that's a big play.
Marcus Timmins was isolated. 1 out. Alan Westover reckons that's enough.
Well, they had to keep playing offensively. They couldn't put the shutters up. Look at this dunk by Smith. Gee, you've got to take your head off to the Magic. But Marcus Timmins down the other end, a very big play. 2 points, and now he can make it a 3-point play. He does just that. Timmins is up to 20, and it's back out to 12 the difference with 2.5 minutes left.
The Tigers have been devastating from the foul line.
Talbot
again.
Big block by Timmins. Awesome. Have a look at Marcus Timmins.
And you just get the feel Andrew Gaze saying, guys,
yeah,
it's not over yet, but
Timmins is really ready to party.
It's not long.
Guys, I was standing on this side. It was like Marcus Timmins gave him a chance there. Oh, big steal there and a foul. It was like Marcus Timmins gave Brian Talbot a chance. He said, here you go, come on, come on. And then he just took off and threw it down into the floor. It was amazing.
Here is the block. Look at that. That is brilliant camera work.
And perfect timing by Marcus Timmins.
Sam McKinnon has fouled out meantime. There's Timmins. And a little shake and bake here. We'll say that for later. Sam McKinnon has fouled out. Gaze is going to the line. Tigers lead by 12. Less than 2.5 minutes to go.
Andrew Gaze is shooting 2.
Well, he's the man that you would want shooting the free throws if the house was up for it, wouldn't it?
Andrew Gaze. Now, the big four in the final series for the Tigers, Bradkey, Timmins, Copeland and Gaze, have averaged 93 points between them per game in the finals, and they're getting up to that mark tonight. Jason Smith for 3, shorts it. Bradkey, the defensive rebound, quickly to Gaze.
Oh, he's got Timmins.
Gaze to Timmins. Timmins misses the 2. Gaze can't tip it in. Bad miss. Now a chance for the Magic. Ronaldson to Smith. That's 2. Less than 2 minutes to go. Tigers lead by 12.
Too many, Steve.
You'd think so.
Well, they're just going to wash time off the clock. They don't need to take a shot. Just work the clock. Magic have to foul, and Tigers are probably one of the better free throw shooting teams in the league. Marvellous performance by the Melbourne Tigers.
Copeland, Bradkey, Gaze. 5 seconds left on the shot. Oh, that's a ridiculous shot from Gaze. He was about 20 metres away, but they've got the ball back.
They've got the ball back. Andrew just explaining to his teammates that the shot clock was about to go. But that is all. This is finished.
Look at the bandages on Gaze. 1 on his elbow, 2 on his knees. Just over a minute to go. And the Tigers looking good. Alley-oop to Copeland. Intercepted by Smith. Gaze gets it back. Copeland for 2. That's 2 points. And look at the Tigers. They're starting to celebrate now.
They can celebrate now.
They lead by 14. Smith and Timmins off the ball. Not all that friendly. And some
the streamers are coming on.
Overzealous Tiger fan has thrown some streamers. They can hang on for another minute and 2 seconds. They'll be able to do it. But Tigers, look at Andrew Gaze and Mark Bradkey. We're already starting to hug and kiss.
Matt Moore's come on for the Magic, and without being disrespectful to the young man at all, but that's a sign that the white flag is well and truly up for the Magic.
There's Ray Gordon kissing every person on the Tigers bench. Kisses all around.
I don't know if it's worth winning if he's going to give you a snog.
Drimmick. Frank Drimmick for 3, and you've got to take your hat off to the Magic.
They've had a real go, but really I think the best team
Tigers too good. Gaze.
They are a brilliant team.
Second last earlier in the year, the Melbourne Tigers.
There was some talk in the papers this week. If the Tigers didn't win this,
they were going to be branded as chokers.
Well, yeah, there may have been a cause for that statement, but they've come out and done it in mine style and won this game. And as you say, hats off to Magic, but they're not good enough in this particular...
Warwick Giddy never made a 3 in his life. Never made a 3-pointer in his life. Almost then. Turnover. Gaze. Andrew Gaze, a dunk! Oh, he couldn't get up there. Could not get up there. He tried, but he'll take the 2. Melbourne by 13. Turnover. Parkinson gets it back. Andrew Parkinson spots up for the 3 and makes it. 10-point ball game. 93-83. Tigers running down the clock. And for the second time in their history, the Melbourne Tigers are champions of the NBL. They won the title in 1993 when they defeated the Perth Wildcats. And they've won it again for the second time. Look at Andrew Gaze with the Magic coach Brian Gorshin. It was a tough series. The Magic tonight, a couple of their players were pummeled. McKinnon broke his nose. Kelly took a chunk out of his tongue. There's Ray Gordon. It was a great series, played in great spirit.
Fantastic series, Stephen.
There's the Gaze clan.
What a beautiful picture.
Saw some great scenes back in Perth in 93 when they won it for the first time. And the Melbourne Tigers, earlier in the year, were second last. And they have produced one of the great comebacks in Australian sporting history, you'd have to say.
Oh, without
to come from second last to win the championship.
One more loss in that period of time and they would have been written off. I don't think they could have even made the playoffs. They came up, finished second.
Chris Anstey there may have played his last game of NBL basketball. A few tears from Chris Anstey. He's off to the NBA. Sam McKinnon.
So those guys will come back. No doubt about that, but you've got to give all credit to this team right here.
Let's go courtside. Larry Senstock speaking with the coach of the Tigers, Lindsay Gaze.
So I have got Lindsay Gaze here. Lindsay, is this the best team that you've ever seen in the NBL?
Well, I said before the start of the season it was the best team we'd ever had. I know people didn't believe me when we were 3-11, but when we got fit and we got healthy, they progressed from then on. We feel very, very proud of the fact that we've been able to beat a very good team tonight. Obviously, it never came easily, and I think the team showed a lot of character under extreme pressure. And I think really they got the title that they deserve.
What about the fact that you've won by 16 out of 17 games? It's just a fantastic effort.
Well, I mean, as I said before, the progress result doesn't mean anything. This game here tonight makes up for whatever happened prior to that. This is obviously the one that counted.
Andrew's got the tears out. Are you emotional as well?
Well, I guess I've been there, done that. I'm very, very proud of the fellas. I'm very pleased because they were under a lot of pressure, both physical and psychological. But when it came time to be counted, I think they stood up. I think anyone who came and saw this game tonight saw a couple of good teams in action. And I think we did the league justice in putting on the game tonight.
Lindsay, you enjoy it? Fantastic effort. Now we got Paul Maley with Marcus Timon.
Marcus, second year in Australia, first year with the Tigers. You come in, you guys win 16 out of your last 17 games, and now 17 out of your last 18. You got to feel pretty good about what you've done to turn this team around.
I just want to come in and play a good role to the team and give them value time. But, you know, I talked to the veterans on the team. They told me they know how I can play. They understand the capabilities of what I have. So I just want to come out and give them some good time. And Drury and Hogan and Leonard, they made me feel comfortable. And I feel excited they came in that I can help out the team and turn the whole organization around.
Marcus, congratulations to you. Happy celebrations tonight. Larry, I believe, has Mark Bradkey. Larry?
Mark, were you confident right through the game?
In about the last 18 seconds, I was like, okay, we got him now, but it's so hard, and after all the trauma of last year, we're losing it. You know, we wanted it so badly. It's an indescribable feeling. It's been a hard slog, and who would have thought when we were second bottom that we would have come all this way, and it's great.
Mate, I noticed that hat doesn't fit very well on that big head of yours.
Oh, well, I'll drink heaps of champagne and I'll forget all about it.
Good on you. I think we've got, yep, Paul Maley's now got. Who we got over there? Warwick Giddy.
We've got Warwick Giddy here. Larry, Warwick, your second one with the Tigers. You attempted a three-pointer in the corner there. Could have been your first for the NBL career, but you guys obviously knew you had it in the bag at that stage.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, 10 seconds or minutes ago, we're up 12 and the game was basically over. But it's great to come back here, give our home fans something to cheer about after you won the first title in Perth. It's great to bring one back home. And Toddy, this one's for your boy, mate. Good on you.
Well, the happy celebrations tonight. You did a fantastic job. Larry, back over to you.
Mate, I've got the captain over here, Andrew Gay's a fantastic game tonight, mate.
Yeah, I didn't do much tonight. They really shut me down. Full credit to Mike Kelly, the Magic. It was like hell out there, but Leonard, Marcus, Watkins.
Mate, I asked your dad tonight. It's an emotional time for you. I started to tears before.
Yeah, it's emotional, mate, because we were under the pump. Because if we had lost this, I tell you, the media, everyone would have left us alone. So we were really under the pump and we come through big time.
Mate, it's a fantastic effort, and I just got to congratulate you. Well done. Back to you, Connor.
Thanks, Larry Sandstock and Paul Maley, speaking with some of the Tigers stars. We'll take a break here at Melbourne Park. When we return, the official presentation, the Melbourne Tigers champions. Basketball tradition, the champion team gets to cut down the net. Each player cuts one piece of string. Mark Bradkey is next, and then we will conclude with the Gaze clan. Every player cuts one piece of string. Tell us about this basketball tradition, Dino.
Well, it's something that's been around for a long time.
Here's Gaze. Listen to the cheer for Gaze.
It's his second title in the 90s. Wonder if it'll be his last in the 90s.
And Andrew trying to get his dad to come over and cut a piece of string off the net. And Lindsay say, no way, but it's been talked into it. So here's Lindsay Gaze being shared up.
There he is.
To cut off the rest. And there it is. Lindsay Gaze with the final honour to cut down one of the nets here at Melbourne Park, with the Tigers winning by 10 points, 93-83. Bernard Copeland, well, my money's on him for the MVP for the grand final. But we don't make that decision. But he had a great series. 26 points in game 3, adding to 28 points and 29 points in his other 2 grand final games. Brian Gorshin coaches Southeast Melbourne. And we're just about ready for the NBL presentation. And to start off the presentation, the Chief Executive of the NBL, Bill Palmer.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the presentation of the Mitsubishi Challenge Trophy, the Sir John Rasky Perpetual Trophy, and the rings to the players. Would you please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of the National Basketball League, Mr. Bill Palmer.
Thank you, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, we have really witnessed and been privileged to witness a marvelous grand final series in the biggest venue in Australia, in front of the best crowds in Australia. Congratulations to you, the Melbourne public. I'd like to congratulate both sides, the Magic firstly, minor round premiers, And we must remember they beat all but one team in this league, which was the champions, the Melbourne Tigers. Not a bad little record, winning 17 out of your last 18 contests. Congratulations to Melbourne. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the chairman of the National Basketball League, Rick Charlton.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great night's basketball. It's the tightest competition we've had in 19 years in the NBL, and the Melbourne Magic entered 22-8 into the finals. But the Tigers performed brilliantly in the playoffs. Only one can win. But before we honour the Tigers, let us give the Southeast Melbourne Magic one more round of applause. Professional sport in Australia is competitive and tough, and the NBL relies very heavily on sponsors to bring to you fans and to fans all around Australia the spectacle of the Mitsubishi Challenge. On behalf of the directors and all of us in the league, I'd like to thank our naming rights sponsors, Mitsubishi Motors Australia. I'd like to thank Qantas, the official airline of the NBL, Uncle Toby's, who sponsor the All-Star Game, and Coca-Cola, the official soft drink. One of the great pieces of news we had this week was that Mitsubishi Motors Australia Limited has signed up, having been with us since 1992, has signed up for another 4 years as a naming rights sponsor. Into the next century with Mitsubishi. The Melbourne Kmart Tigers performed tremendously well in this series. Congratulations to them. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, to the presentation. I would like to introduce Mr. David Turner, Manager, Sales Promotion and Sponsorship for Mitsubishi Motors Australia Limited.
Thank you, Rick. And on behalf of Mitsubishi Motors, I'd just like to say that it was again a fantastic exhibition of talent and skill and, of course, sheer determination by both teams. Congratulations to the Tigers on a magnificent win. And of course, bad luck tonight to the Magic. It was a great effort, and you're tremendous competitors. I would just like to say though that you know, there's a lot of people that Mitsubishi have to thank with putting on the Mitsubishi Challenge. Of course, it's the NBL. Of course, it's each of the 11 clubs that are involved in the competition, to the officials, referees, the media, and also the basketball public. It's important, so thank you very much. Finally, I'd just like to say that, as Rick said, we are going to continue our sponsorship for the next 4 years, and of course, that means that we'll do everything we can to bring you the best in basketball. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the league has been operating since 1979. We have, I think, a marvelous tradition of recognizing the team that beat everybody but one. The other grand finalist in the contest, we think it's very important to recognize the Southeast Melbourne Magic by giving awards to their players and coaches. Firstly, I'd like to call forward the coaching staff, Brian Gorgon and his assistant coach and brother, Kevin Gorgon. Matt Moore. Andrew Parkinson. Jason Smith. Frank Drimmick.
Frank Drimmick, only 19 years of age, had a wonderful final series. He's going to be one of the stars in Australian basketball for many years to come. Chris Anstey will catch a plane on Monday to play in the big time.
And of course, you have to remember that Chris Anstey originally was a Melbourne Tigers player.
Certainly was. Mike Kelly, he did a fantastic job on Andrew Gaze. Gaze will be first to admit that. Had a very heavy knock in the third quarter.
I don't think he'll be licking too many stamps for a while.
All right. Sam McKinnon, of course, broke his nose the first couple of minutes of the game with a big foul by Warwick Giddy. To Sam's credit, he fought back, finished with 10 points and 4 rebounds.
I'd like also to make a special note and thank our 2 broadcasters tonight, Fox Sport, who's been with us for 3 years, and Network 10, who's finishing their 6th year. It's unfair to name anybody at Channel 10, but from Mike Otson, Rozaz Motherly, John Palmer, John Murray, Steve Quartermain on down 10, you've been great allies of the league over the last 6 years. In a little bit of change to format, the league would now like to name the player who has played the best over the whole series, the most valuable player for the grand final series. And ladies and gentlemen, there can be no doubt in this series it was Leonard Copeland.
And no one, Dean, would disagree with that. Copeland in his 3 games, 29 points, 28 points, and tonight 26 points. That's 83 points in 3 games.
Yeah, little doubt about that. And the thing was, he came up with the clutch baskets. It was when he got them, not just how many he got. And at the rate he hit them, he really did shoot the ball extremely well. Great percentage, up near 60% in the 3 games. So tremendous effort by Leonard Copeland and thoroughly deserved.
32 years of age now, Leonard Copeland.
Grand Final Series Most Valuable Player. And now to the 1997 champion team, the Melbourne Tigers. Firstly, assistant coach Alan Westover. Eric Wickstrom. Damien Chapman. Daniel Egan. Brett Rainbow. Brett Jeffries. Blair Smith. Ray Gordon.
Ray Gordon, who had an altercation with a few Magic fans after the game. He was giving them a bit of a spray in the courtside boxes, and the Magic fans responding.
Bit of fun.
Yeah. Marcus Timmins, since joining the Tigers, their record was 19 wins and 3 losses. Warwick Giddy, the man that produces all those little 1%ers.
He's so valuable to this team, yet he hardly scores. It just shows you don't have to score to be valuable. But this man does, and is.
Mark Radke.
Will he stay at the Tigers, Stephen?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call up the coach of the team, Andrew Gaines, and the captain of the team, Andrew Gaines, and the coach of the team, Lindsay Gaines.
Firstly, it's very special for us from where we come from the start of the year to see this. A lot of people wrote us off, and I think the Melbourne Tigers showed that they've got very, very big hearts and a lot of character come back from where we were. Having said that, I think that as far as the Southeast Magic was concerned, I think that we have nothing but respect for them, for their coaching staff, and I'd like every Melbourne Tigers fan to thank these guys here because they were champions tonight as well. Lastly, I'd just like to thank a couple of people, particularly Kmart, our major sponsor. For without them, we wouldn't be here. And very special person with Kmart, Ross Bartlett, who's helped us out. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he's been very good to us. And also the people at Kodak and all the sponsors. And of course, we'd like to thank Mitsubishi because they've been with us a long time. And for without them, we wouldn't have the opportunity to play this game. And it is great. I'd also like to thank the Melbourne press because the last 2 weeks they have done justice to the sport of basketball, the greatest sport in the world. And thank you people for coming along. And last but not least, we got some celebrating to do, so all the Tigers fans, get ready to party. Let's go.
At the start of the year, I told our board that I thought we had the best team that we've ever had. Considering our history and the performances that we've had over the years, that was a fairly bold statement. When we're 3-9 or 3-10 or 3-11, whatever it was, my credibility obviously was being tested. But once we got fit and healthy, each time and each game, the players responded. And from the halfway mark, every game was a test of whether we could reach the finals. And every one of those games, I think, helped prepare us for the biggest game of all, and that was through this series tonight. I think I made a pretty fair statement at the start of the year. This is the best team that we've had in our history, and considering the battle that we had to beat the Southeastern Magic tonight, it gives some credit to them for pushing us to a higher limit than we thought we might have been able to achieve. So congratulations to the Magic for helping us get forward. And I'd like to thank all of the players on our team for setting a new tradition for the club. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final act tonight is to present to the Tigers the perpetual trophy, the Doc Rasky Perpetual Trophy that is passed around the championship team every year in memory of Dr. John Rasky, the founder of the league. And of course, the Mitsubishi Challenge Trophy that can go right next to the other one in the cabinet that the Tigers keep. So on behalf of the Tigers, if we can get Lindsay and Andrew to accept, before the team joins them, so I'll remind you that the season starts next year, January 30th. And we hope we can start where we left off tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1997 Mitsubishi Challenge champions.
So the Tigers with the 2 trophies as the Magic bid farewell to their fans and walk off the court. Tigers will be staying around for quite some time, you would think. And not the easiest of trophy to tip champagne into and drink out of, but 2 great trophies, the Melbourne Tigers now waiting on the podium. So we're going to take a break here at Melbourne Park. Plenty more still to look forward to. More interviews from both the winners and the losers. The Melbourne Tigers champions for season 97, defeating Magic by 10 points in the deciding game tonight, 93-83.
You got your beers now.
So the Melbourne Tigers, champions for season 1997 by 10 points over the Southeast Melbourne Magic. the most valuable player in the grand final series, Leonard Copeland. Not bad for a 32-year-old.
Not bad at all. Just happy that the guys came through. I thought I had a pretty good series, but I think everybody played well, even the Magic. It was one of those series where we didn't know who was going to win it, but the guys wanted it better, and we came out and did it.
When you look at the start of the season, you were second last after the first couple of months. Did you give up hope?
Not at all, because we had a bunch of injuries that people didn't see. We changed Americans. Blair Smith was hurt, and we knew once we got our team together, we'd be better than we were.
Ray Gordon, I noticed after the game, Ray, you had a bit of a run-in with a couple of the Magic fans near the courtside box.
Yeah, I was definitely upset last time. A couple of their sponsors were, giving the old finger, so I went and had a chat to them and said, look, I'll meet you in the car park.
How does it feel to win the title for the second time? It was a tough one. There's a lot of media during the week that perhaps the Tigers might be called chokers if they didn't get over the line tonight. How did the team respond to that?
They're choking on this ring.
That's exactly right. We got the ring. There was a lot of press, but hey, we got some big balls. I'm telling you, we're here, and that's special.
Now, if I can ask you guys, Leonard and Ray, was there any point during the series when you actually discussed it all last year and the fact that you won game one and then dropped the second one? I mean, did that play on your minds at all? Did you guys talk about it?
We didn't really talk about it. We weren't thinking about it. I mean, we knew we were a better team than the Magic. The Magic's a great team, don't get me wrong, but we knew we were a better team. I mean, if we just came out and ran our stuff and scored our points, then we thought we'd win the game, and that's what happened tonight.
What do you got planned, Ray? What have you got planned tonight?
I'm going to get very, very, very drunk.
I do believe, Quarters, you're buying tonight.
Yes, I'll shout you a beer. I always like to buy the winners a beer. Well, it's absolute bedlam as Marcus Timmett. Marcus! Now, are you going to do this dance that we've been promised all year?
No. I can't do that. I'm saying, Hoagie won. Hoagie. Hoagie and Drew go do the dance.
Do the dance.
Do the dance, baby. Get down for me. Let's do the dance.
Here we go. We're going to do the dance. Come on.
What are we doing?
Do the dance.
Come on, you dance. Just show us how. There you go.
Oh dear, well I can tell you what, it's absolute madness here at the moment. We will get the Tigers. I'm sure Andrew Gaze at some stage tonight will be doing the dance, and that will be one of the highlights. But speaking of highlights, there's been some fantastic highlights in season 1997 of the NBL's Mitsubishi Challenge. Let's have a look at them now. Well, as you could imagine, it's absolute madness here at the moment at Melbourne Park. We've managed to drag Andrew Gaze a little bit more in depth now, Andrew. Just looking at the season and the finals, you touched on it in your victory speech that the Tigers might be labelled chokers if you didn't get over the line in this grand final series. Was that motivation?
Oh, absolutely. I think throughout the week when we're at training and you guys come down and give us all the interviews, we had some beautiful rhetoric to give you guys to try and keep it. But deep down, we knew we were under the pump tonight, and we tried to camouflage as much as we could around ourselves, but it was a big, big test for the club and the organisation.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Oh, and
woo! That champagne stings.
Hey, and what was I saying again? Oh, yeah, and we really.
10 bottles, so hurry up, we're waiting for you.
And I think that we really were under the pump, and it was great to finally come through and do it for our fans who've been with us. We gave them nightmares at the start of the season because we had such a shocker. But what can you say when you got, you know, Marcus Timmins coming in, and I mean his game tonight spoke for itself.
Stewie, just a quick question. It was a very physical game tonight. It was a pretty physical series, and you seem to be on the end of a lot of that physical stuff. What about that? Was that a real factor in this series?
I think we had to make some adjustments. I mean, the first game was called pretty tight. They came out the second game and really made it a physical war for us, and we probably didn't handle that well. But we were ready for it tonight. You know, I think that we made a pact that, hey, don't point the finger at the referees, just ignore it and let good things come to you. And we really focused on just ignoring all those factors. If they're going to hit us, we just have to cop it and go through it and just focus on the game. And I think when all's said and done, we showed that we had the ability and really did well in a crisis.
There's been some speculation that perhaps your dad might hang up the coaching boots and have a bit of a break from coaching. Do you think this will convince him to stay around for a bit longer?
Yeah, no, he's not going anywhere. I mean, if he goes, I mean, a lot of the guys would probably go. So as much as maybe he would like to do that, but there's no way the players will let him do that. So unfortunately, he hasn't got a choice.
Andrew, congratulations. You've done yourself and the club proud, not only tonight, but for the whole season. Go and enjoy the night. I'm sure it'll be a very long one.
Thanks very much, and to you guys, it's been great having you on board, and hopefully, you know, we'll see you around again sometime.
Andrew Gaze, one of the great players in the NBL. Well done, Drew. Go and enjoy the moment. Andrew Gaze, one of the, the best player in the history of the NBL. 6 MVPs, won another one this year. Well, that just about wraps up the Channel 10 coverage for season 1997. It's been another fantastic year. Thank you very much to everyone involved. To Dean Templeton, who's been calling the games with me for the last 6 years. Thanks very much to Paul Maley and Larry Senstock. Good luck next year when you make your comeback with the North Melbourne Giants. And Larry, we know you're long retired now, but thanks for your efforts during the final series.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been a lot of fun on behalf of the entire Network 10 team. Hope you enjoyed tonight's game. We'll see you on Cup Day. Good night.